Now to another sport. You might have seen wrestling on the TV before. It normally involves huge men in tight costumes pretending to fight. But away from the glitz and glamour of the WWE is a genuinely competitive sport also called wrestling. Kirsty checked it out.
When it comes to wrestling, this is what most people think of. But away from all the glitz and glamour of the WWE, this is the real sport of wrestling. There are no spray tans or flying chairs around here. This wrestling is all about hard work and dedication. Wrestling has been around for ages. It was even at the first modern-day Olympic Games in 1896. There are lots of different types of wrestling, from the traditional Greco-Roman wrestling to the more modern freestyle. And that's what's on show at this training session in Adelaide. The idea is to pin your opponent's shoulders to the mat. Once you do that, it's game over. Trevor is in the blue and at only 13 years old has had an impressive wrestling career. He's a two-time national champion and has been involved in the sport for nearly 3 years. He decided to give wrestling a try after being inspired by the fake wrestling you see on TV.
It was mostly the flips and how they used to throw each other around. I always liked doing that as a kid, so that sort of influenced me.
Jake is 15 and has been wrestling for the same amount of time.
I got into wrestling because I wanted to fight, and then my dad says I can't do anything with punching, so I thought, oh, wrestling would be good. So then Dad found a wrestling place and I started wrestling, and then I loved it from there and I've kept with it, so yeah.
Jake and Trevor are preparing for the national championships in October. They have to train about 5 times a week and follow a strict diet.
Well, the training is really intense sometimes. Like, you sometimes don't get a rest. Like, the coach puts you in the centre and then everyone just rotates on you for about 30 seconds or a minute. So now it's really, really tiring. Like, you crawl off the mat sort of thing. And then just basically weights and running and stuff like that.
With all that training, it's clear this sport is more than just rolling around on a mat. So, can anyone do it?
That's basically it.
That's awesome. That was really good. Was like decent?
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
To do wrestling like this, you need to be properly trained. That way, you're less likely to get hurt. In most people's minds, wrestling will always be the fake stuff you see on TV. And for now, these guys are happy to put up with it.
It's been good because it helps the sport be noticed, but it's been bad because they think you can just go out to the crowd and grab a chair and just smack someone with it.
So now you know that there's a big difference between what you see on TV and the real deal.